Hello again. I received several emails yesterday from people eager to alert me to the fact that Hope Not Hate, run by the awful Nick Lowles, has decided to feature me in their latest publication. I share a page with Lawrence Fox, of all unlikely people. This is a little odd, but I dare say they know what they're up to. I observe that they also choose to include a black guy in the same rogues gallery of people who are apparently in the populist radical right. I wasn't aware that I was anything of the sort, but you learn something new about yourself every day, don't you? Lowles, like so many right-on white liberals, knows better than black people themselves how they should be conducting themselves and what they ought to be saying and thinking. Nothing is more irritating to certain left-wing types than a black man who disagrees with their own narrative and perspective on matters like racism. The piece about me is a little odd. In the description to this video, I give a link to it. I am to be found on page 52. The brief article begins as follows. History Debunked, run by Simon Webb, is a YouTube channel with 240,000 subscribers. It publishes videos about the perceived decline of Britain and the so-called blackwashing of British history. So-called by whom, feels compelled to ask. I've never in the whole course of my life used the expression blackwashing. Oddly enough, the word is placed in quotation marks as though it is something I have said. It is not. This really is a little tricksy of the author of this piece. It goes on to mention that I addressed the traditional Britain, I should say, Christmas social in 2022, which is perfectly true. Somebody asked if I'd give a speech there, which I did for an hour. I haven't had any dealings with the group before that or after, just an hour and a half on that single evening. Then, too, it is said that I encouraged people to vote for the English Constitution Party 3 years ago in the local election at Havering in East London. I did, but I cannot imagine what anybody thinks that has to do with hatred. The worst one could say about the English Constitution Party is that they were a little strange. We are then told that, and I quote, Webb has received funding from Andrew Conroe, the tech entrepreneur behind the Human Diversity Foundation. Thanks to a grant, Webb wrote a book on race science called The Equalitarian Dogma. This is quite amusing, and I'll explain why. Last year, Hope Not Hate was involved in what was supposed to be an expose of the Conroe Foundation in the United States, and many people who had never heard of it duly expressed their surprise at learning about Andrew Conroe and his foundation. It's really bizarre. They could have learned of the existence of the foundation had they been followers of this channel. They could have found out years earlier. In November 2021, 3 years before the documentary on the television, I released a video to which I give a link in the description to this video, in which I talk about the Conroe Foundation and mention that I've received a grant from them. There was never anything secret about this. I announced it publicly years ago, and anybody could have read about the Conroe Foundation and seen what they were doing then. And also, of course, that I've been paid by them to write a book. None of this has ever been any sort of secret at all. All in all, I found the piece about me in Hope Not Hate publication a bit of a damp squib, but I suppose that it will bring in a few extra subscribers. It would be churlish to criticise them too harshly, I should think.